If your closet is overloaded with clothes that still have tags on, or if you've converted an entire bedroom to a walk-in wardrobe, you might be a shopaholic.
Do you have an uncontrollable urge to shop? Can't resist a sale, even if you know you can't afford it?
Could you go without buying clothes for an entire year? There's a question for you.
One Aussie woman decided that her addiction to buying more items to stuff into her already overcrowded wardrobe was ruining her life.
It's a challenge many would find near impossible, but one woman says she's giving up clothes shopping for an entire year.
From shopaholic to money-saving crusader, overspender to underspender, Jill Chivers has done what many men and women would find impossible.
How did you do it?
Medication.
For self-confessed shopaholic Jill Chivers, her addiction was so strong she was forced, yes, get this, to convert her bedroom into a wardrobe.
The urge to splurge can be very, very seductive, and the cycle goes something like, I don't feel good, or there's an emotional button that's being pushed. I go shopping, and then that emotional button gets pushed again, and so on until you do something to break that cycle.
When did you, I suppose, realise that you had an addiction?
It was late last year, and I had been in the United States and come back with a range of things that I'd bought, and I looked at them all and thought, these are all gorgeous, and I didn't need any of them. I had a wardrobe literally stuffed to the gills with wonderful clothing that I had enjoyed shopping for, that I liked to wear, and yet I was still continuing to add to that wardrobe. Right. And that's really a form of insanity. So I kind of had an awareness one day coming back from doing the grocery shopping and thought, I need to have a better relationship to shopping, and I need to wear more of what I already have.
I shopped as a way of rewarding myself, as a way of saying, I've worked really hard, I've done something really challenging, I've achieved something, I'll treat myself.
I had a sense that I didn't have a healthy relationship to shopping, and I knew I wanted to make a change to the way that I went shopping and my relationship to consumption.
When you go into your wardrobe and you feel that 80 to 90% of it is unwearable, that starts to have a drip feed effect on your self-esteem and your confidence.
Shopping is not just shopping. Shopping fulfills many needs. So there's social needs. We go shopping with friends and sisters, mothers, daughters. Shopping also hits emotional buttons.
Many women have different reasons that they shop. They shop when they're angry, they shop when they're bored, they shop when they feel bad, they shop when they feel good.
And so we get into a bit of a cycle where we don't feel good, we go shopping, we feel bad again, and it just fuels the cycle.
It has an effect on relationships, it has an effect on identity and self-esteem. It has some very devastating and real effects on women's lives.
How did you realize you were a shopaholic?
Poverty.
Poverty?
I was aware that there was an emotional element to my shopping, but I didn't understand what it was.
The emotional side has been the hardest part, really fronting up to that and not running away from it, because you become exposed to judgment and people not understanding.
I really wanted something to change. I didn't just want to have a year off from clothes shopping. I wanted something to be different at the end of the year.
The whole idea was to sort of reboot your urge to shop.
Yes, delete the old files, put in some new files. Because I have so many clothes and I love clothes shopping, and it's a contact sport. It's a hobby. Elevated it into an art form. One of the other things that the year did for me was it opened my eyes to the broader landscape of consumption and shopping and the reasons that we shop, and it caused me to want to help other women as well.
There's no catch for not shopping.
But there is a safety net. There are things that you can do to help ease your way through what might seem like a painful year. I now run a 12-month course for other women who want to take a year off from clothes shopping, but they don't want it to be a year of going without. Who wants that? They want it to be an inspiring and supportive year. They want to feel better about themselves. Our 12-month program, we have a huge emphasis on how to understand what works for you, how to use what you have. It's amazing how much more women can get out of of existing wardrobes, even if they're a little bit bored with them, it's easy to spice them up.
Go shopping in your wardrobe. Those clothes got there for a reason. So
Start using them.
Start playing around with them. A lot of times we play it safe in our wardrobe, and there's a lot of hidden mileage and magic in our wardrobe if we can get in there and use what we've got.
We also address financial aspects, emotional and psychological reasons that women shop. We do something on how to organise your wardrobe. You don't wear clothes you can't see.
It's an online program. You get a weekly lesson into your inbox. You get support. You get a community. A year without clothes shopping is not a punishment. It can be an enjoyable and enriching year.
Jill has gained more by buying less.
It's about learning to work with what you've got. So here we have 12 items of clothing that make over 50 outfits.
Jill believes these steps helped her on her journey. Firstly, identifying her problem, then not constantly thinking about shopping, and instead of spending, spend your time doing more enriching activities.
Instead of going shopping, start a list of the things that you love to do that fulfill your spirit and make you feel good about living and you know, being alive, and do those things instead of going shopping. So when you feel the urge to splurge, go and do one of those things. Instead of, you know, meeting in a shopping centre and then doing some retail therapy later, we would actually sit and talk, and the time was really about being together rather than where can we go to get a great deal. And I also found that happened with my husband. Instead of going for a coffee and then charging off to see what was in the shops, I would actually sit and spend more time with him. And so, you know, that's a huge benefit when you're concentrating on the person you're with rather than what deal am I missing out on.
You can slay your shopping dragon.
I guess the point is, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Rather than spending my life, I'm living it. Without clothes shopping can be not only enjoyable but really enlightening.